Okay. Good afternoon. This is Blu Laker. This is Radio Tribune, located here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And you're going to be listening to Cobra USA. Blu Laker. That's me. And today we're going to talk about a couple of things. We had a political rally yesterday for a number of political candidates that are coming up, judges and so forth. And a couple of them stood out to me. And I'm going to really kind of start this conversation with you. One of the persons there was Kara Campbell. She's running for Municipal Court Department 3. Now, let's not forget that primary election day is April the 4th, and it's necessary for you to vote for the candidates of your choice. It just so happens that I was pretty much impressed with her, and then reading more about her, historical information. She is a Chief Deputy District Attorney that is committed to the safety and well-being of our community. She's lifelong Las Vegas. She's experienced with 20 years as a district attorney. Chief Deputy of Training and Recruitment for the entire Clark County District Attorney's Office. Only the second female prosecutor to ever hold that position. Karen has served as lead prosecutor on virtually every type of criminal case in Nevada, fighting for the rights of victims on charges ranging from domestic violence to murder. She also served as a Clark County prosecutor to the specificity prosecuted unit, identified as high-intensity drug trafficking area, and a program called HIDTA. My recommendation that you give her serious consideration. That's Kara Campbell, Municipal Court Department 3. And don't forget, we're talking about the primary election, and that's coming up here in April. So now we're getting into the meat of the matter. And yesterday we talked about Cobra. And Cobra is a program, in case you haven't heard, that's a law. It's been in effect since 1985 with President Ronald Reagan. And it's still a law today. That law and Cobra are designed to help people who either voluntarily or involuntarily lose their job and would like the continuation of their insurance under their own specific plans or individual plans. The law itself is only 48 pages long, so anybody who's interested should really get onto the internet and go to Cobra Law. You'll be able to find out everything that you needed to know and just exactly what it does do. No, it's not 1,000 pages. No, it's not burdening. It's easy to read. It's put in layman's language that you can easily understand. So if you're really interested and you want to do yourself a favor, right, remember what I'm saying, do yourself a favor and have continued coverage, or want to join either in Cobra or the succeeding program, King Cobra, then you at least want to know the basics of what the basis for that program. Again, I repeat, Cobra is not an insurance program. It's the law. Now, the difference between creating a law and a law that's in existence is just exactly that. Sometimes when you try to create a new program, it takes forever. Good part about Cobra is that once you're in the program, it's good for 18 months. But what does that mean to me as an individual? Well, what it means to me and you is that if you're looking for insurance and you don't have Medicare or some other program, that you can continue with your program for up to 18 months. In the meantime, Congress has got to come together on a final program for America. King Cobra, which is separate, I will never say it's separate, it's a continuation of Cobra, but with different rules and regulations. Cobra has been amended several times since its creation in 1985. Most of that has been beneficial to the people in the program. King Cobra, an extension of Cobra, is also beneficial to the people who would be in it. And there are several factors for saying that. One, it costs less. Two, it has less deductibles. Three, you can temporarily use it until Congress puts together another program. Well, in the event that they don't put together another program, then I believe that King Cobra will be the program that would ultimately wind up with. So it's really incumbent upon you as an individual to find out what program is best for you. Individual insurance, Cobra, King Cobra, or any other plan that you might have. But we do know that the Obama Care program has been a disaster, and it needs to come to an end. And so we say, Obamacare killed by King Cobra. Now you know the meaning and understanding of what we're saying. We're saying that Obamacare is finished, if not today, very, very soon. And there has to be something to take its place and to help those people in need. Will everybody be covered? It's not for me to say, because there's specific qualifications for any insurance program. You know, there's insurance companies that don't want to insure people that smoke. There's insurance companies that don't want to insure anybody that's not in good health, where they have to go down and basically get a health certificate from the doctor or wherever in order to qualify for the program. Well, all programs have that same basic information. So if insurance is a major consideration for you or someone in your family, then you want to try to get the best program at the least amount of money possible. But there's another reason you should look at King Cobra. Because King Cobra can give you tax credits. Now, how does that work? Well, let's just say that you're going to owe Uncle Sam $6,000 at the end of the year. And you decide that you're going to go ahead and start those payments now. And now you're still going to pay the $6,000. It's just a question of when. But when you take it with King Cobra, you get it back at the end of the year, plus interest. Well, how can that work? I've never heard of an insurance company that pays dividends. Well, you haven't paid too much attention, because there are insurance companies that do exactly that. And it's up to the administrators for their insurance to work and be profitable. That's not much different than what the banks do. The banks take money from everybody, but don't take it, you give it. And then they put it in your safes, and it's always available to you at a moment's notice, if you were. And King Cobra is designed to operate exactly the same way. Again, it gets back to a couple of things that are really very basic in life. You see, you can either be the bank or you can pay the bank. That's the choice. In the King Cobra plan, you are basically being the bank. Well, how can you say that when I have to pay in? Well, because they operate just like the bank. The bank takes all of our money and puts it into certain funds and real estate and other ventures and with the idea that they're going to make money. And they do, because very few banks have failed. The only reason banks have failed in the past is because of subprime mortgages or other events, theft, who knows all the reasons. But generally speaking, the banks are safe. But in King Cobra, it's guaranteed that you will get your money back, plus interest, presuming that King Cobra is allowed to make money, or does make money, on the investment that they do. Again, your money is still secure. You can get it at any time. So it's a different program. It's a program that, in my opinion, is a win-win for everybody that's involved. Because the depositors actually are getting their money back with interest. Oh yes, they still have to pay their taxes, but that's the point. And this is different than a tax deduction. It's a tax credit. Tax deductions are you list your items of expenses and make a deduction, and it puts you in a lower bracket. Maybe. Tax credits work the same way, except with tax credits, it's actually a cash dividend, and you can either take the cash dividend, but you're still going to have to pay the taxes, or you can take the interest for the use of the money over the period of time, and that would be year to year annually, that the administrators create this dividend and either pass it to you in forms of cash and or give you credit towards the following year. Now, isn't that exactly what the Internal Revenue does? That's exactly what they do. They take your money from your paycheck, they put it into the collection basket, if you will. They make money on it, and then they give you back a percentage of it at the end of the year. So when we talk about the banks and we talk about the Internal Revenue Service, they use the same MO, mode of operation. And they've been in existence for hundreds of years, or at least 100 and some years. The point is that we need to think about who's running the show. In the case of the banks are running the show, and they have administrators and so forth that are paid to do their job. In the case of the Internal Revenue Service, they have administrators that administer the program, and they get paid handsomely for handling your money. So in one case, we have a bank. In the other case, we have the Internal Revenue Service. And there's not that much difference between the two. Oh, that's right, you get penalized if you don't pay your tax. Oh, you get penalized if you have a bad check. So there's people won't take the time to investigate what is happening and how these companies, especially the banks, stay in business, or how the Internal Revenue stays in business, and how they've got all these collectors out there collecting your money. So let's take that a little bit further. Let's just say that you decide that you're going to invest in King Cobra. And it's very much the same way as getting a paycheck and having the deductions for Social Security and the Internal Revenue. So it's almost identical. The difference is that you now have the opportunity of doing the same thing with your income tax returns that you've been doing for years. So how much different is it than what we're already doing? And what's the benefits? Are there additional benefits? Are you earning 10% on your money that you're paying in? Well, You don't get that at the bank. You get 1 or 2% if you're lucky. The Internal Revenue Service doesn't give you anything except a portion of your money back that you've already paid in. So which one of those 3 programs that I mentioned make more sense? King Cobra, the Internal Revenue Service, or the banking institution? When we talk about sense, we're not just talking about common sense, we're talking about real money. Oh, and by the way, the monetary system is going to change. We're going to go back to the gold standard, and we're going to do business with some foreign companies so that we can remain the International Monetary Fund reserve. You can expect some big changes. Some of those changes are occurring now. And yes, there's some stalls and some protests, and a lot of people who don't understand what's going on, just like most people don't even know what Cobra is. Some people don't even know what KISS is. Well, I spoke to somebody yesterday, and I asked her if she knew what KISS was. And she said, I said, well, move a little closer and I'll show you. Well, I stopped just a little bit short of where she was. And I said, no, KISS is keep it simple, stupid. That's what KISS is. And that's what King Cobra is. It is simple. It's adaptable. It doesn't have to go through Congress to be ratified. We have a program that exists today that is the law, and we need to follow that law for the benefit of this country. We can save money and we can make money. It really depends upon who the administrators are. We've seen what our legislatures have done and how they fail in just about every term. This program does not have to be administered by the federal government. It can be administered by the people in the King Cobra administration. People who have been vetted, who don't appear to have criminal backgrounds or malicious intent, and are really there to protect the public. That's what we need. We don't need the lobbyists. We don't need to create a new wheel. We've already got one. We've got a good wheel. It's kind of like some of the other laws that we have in the books that we don't enforce. We just don't enforce them. Why is that? If we can save millions or billions of dollars, and it is billions of dollars over years, why would we want to take the best approach possible? The best approach possible is simple. Let's not see if we can pull every paragraph and every sentence apart, because that's already been done. With the Ronald Reagan administration in 1985, you don't think they didn't pull that apart? That they didn't know what they were doing? They knew what they were doing, and they created a law. That law is still in effect. So, again, we have to start making intelligent decisions, not biased opinions based upon political factions, or we're just going to rip the country apart. You see, because there's always opposition no matter what you do. Even if you had the goose that laid the golden egg, people would say it's brass or doesn't exist, and that's really what's happening now. That they're trying to pull apart this administration. It's not going to happen. At least I don't think so. Because we need to move forward. Why do we want to keep trying to throw roadblocks in front of a president who has made promises to the American public to fulfill what he has promised to do. Doesn't make a lot of sense, yet we see these protests taking place. One of the things when they protested the inauguration, now there's 214, something like that, people who were arrested and are now being charged criminally with a felony charge. Well, maybe that's the key. Maybe people will all of a sudden wake up and say, okay, maybe we need to look at this a little more carefully, and are we doing the right thing? The right thing to do is for the country. Make America great again. Let us be proud of the people that we have as representatives instead of what we've had in the past, which has been total chaos and confusion, whether it happens to be Obamacare or some of the wars that we've been in unnecessarily, and how our soldiers and veterans have suffered because of that. Don't you think it's time that we do what God intended? Wouldn't it be nice to have 1,000 years of peace? Well, that 1,000 years of peace comes with making the right decisions and taking the first step towards that. There will be other things besides healthcare. There will be the monetary situation, and we will change to the gold standard. And we will become partners with Russia. And there's a couple of reasons for it. I'll just go over those briefly before I end the show. Russia, oh, by the way, I am an American, have been all my life, was born here in this country, about 1937. Well, okay, yeah, 1937. So the point is that I have the right to speak as an American. My great-great-great-great-grandparents came in from Germany, went through Nellis Island, and became citizens. And of course, we've had generations of people, of my people, all through these generations now. So I think I have the right to be considered as an American. I certainly have the devotion and patriotism that's necessary for me to act like an American and to be proud of an American, to be proud of the flag. But I'm talking about Russia now, and we have a lot in common with Russia. They have fought with us as allies in wars. Oh, yes, this is a different country, and it's gone through changes, but remember the Civil War that we had in this country? Well, that's similar to what the Russians had to go through with the Soviet Union. Similar. We lost over 1 million people during the Civil War. I can't tell you how many people were lost when Russia broke from the Soviet Union, or those countries broke from Russia. All I know is that we have a lot in common with them. We share the same colors in our flag, red, white, and blue. We also share the same type of seal. That is to say, they have 2 eagles in your seal, and we have 1 eagle on our seal. So we have a lot in common, and we can be very close with them and allow them to watch our back as we watch theirs. And oh yes, we hear about all the other things, and we're very quick to jump, and sometimes the very last ones to act. We really need to change that. We have to start working on the same page and see if we can't do something together. And why would we want to do something together? Because there's another country called China that would like to tear us apart and do that financially by owning most of our important industries and properties. By ourselves, we're weak compared to China. I don't mean militarily, I mean financially. And the International Monetary Fund is going to be based on assets, not fiat paper. We have a lot of gold. Russia has a lot of gold. China has more, but the collective powers of the United States and Russia are far greater than what China has. And it makes sense for us to cooperate with them, to work up joint resolutions that make sense. Because if we don't, we're going to fall off the perch. And we see that happening with a lot of the issues that are current in today's historical information or historical past with immigration. Immigration is one of those things that has taken from us, has helped create the 20 billion or 20 trillion deficit that we have, and we have to curb it, or we won't have a country. A country without borders is not a country. I'm not the first one that's ever said that. Many other people have said exactly the same thing. And we better pay attention to what these scholastic individuals have stated. We cannot ignore what is so obvious. But we do it all the time. And if we're not careful, we're going to see history repeat itself here time and time again. Don't you think it's time to get off the couch and do something that helps not just America, but you, your family, and the future Americans that you have helped create? I think we should. I think you should pay a little more attention to this program, because we talk about the specific issues that affect all Americans, whether it happens to be tax, health, security, all of those issues, very important to the success and future of the United States. Let our flag fly high and dry. Let's put a light on the hill that can be seen by the rest of the world, not a basket on top of it to prevent it from being known. This is Blu Laker, and this radio show emanating from Radio Tribune. You'll find it under Cobra USA.BluLaker@gmail.com. I want to thank you for listening today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend up and coming, and that we can start this fresh again, and that somebody will pay attention and listen to what is being said. Donald Trump has promised that he would be our voice. But in order for him to be our voice, he has to know what we're thinking. It's your responsibility to get in touch with him, his aides, other people who have the interest of this country at heart, to make them aware that we don't have to go backwards anymore. We need to go forward, and we need to do it as rapidly as possible. So again, I hope you have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these things take place, and I hope and pray that we're able to achieve the goals and aspirations that have been set forth by our new president, Donald Trump. And with that, this is Blu Laker signing off for today. We'll talk.